All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is the RGN Intercontinental North American Division, and we are live with our second match of the evening, Aftershock versus Dismay. This is Nuke as our starting map, and it is Dismay's pick, hence Aftershock starting on that CT side. So I am Sprawl. By my side is the one and only Bach. How's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good. I'm coming in here at the last minute to spell out Laser Jesus. He's been having some problems with his PC apparently, so I'm pretty pumped. Wasn't exactly planning on casting tonight, but we are underway here. The match between Aftershock and Dismay, and you can already see Dismay making their way outside. 4 players pushing around Red Box trying to get Secret. There's a player towards the lobby making some noise. That's a 6-man Sharp. He's trying to just create a distraction as all 4 players have started that choo-choo train into lower. Bomb is in sight. They're going to be trying to get that plant. There is a man in sight. That's Skillet. AKNY going to pick up the kill on Sharp. So it's down to 4 players to the T side of Dismay, and unfortunately not able to get into the site too easily. Knife finally taking one out for Dismay. That's drone down. Skillet in sight takes down Mystery. AKNY, another frag for him. Limezor is down. Now it's a 2v4. Knife picks up one more. That's Smelly. And here comes the retake from the CTs. Oh my goodness, Knife picks up one more. Goes for the peek on AKNY. AKNY comes out the victor, and now it's a 1v1. Knife versus Skillet. And Knife just trying to evade the shots here. Skillet does have a kit, so he has some time to buy. Knife down low in HP, though. Just going to try and bait this player out. And it all comes down to this. Is he going to peek him in time? Skillet goes for the defuse, not able to come up with it. And a wonderful pistol round there. The ace from Knife. And as we typically see the chaotic Knife round, so much fun to guess.
That was pretty nuts, and yeah, Knife coming out of it with an ace. Can't go wrong with pistol round aces. Just putting the team on your back and making it happen. So Dismay up 1-0. Now they need to take these anti-eco rounds, and you can see that Aftershock does not want to give this out, hence throwing armor on all their players, and they've got 5-7s across the board. So interesting note, no CZ75, so these players not wanting to switch back to that weapon, as it has been changed once again here. But right now, from the tees, they realize that this is an important round that they cannot drop as well. So working fairly slow. They're expecting some sort of aggression that hasn't showed up as of yet. But they are progressing towards the ramp room. Fugly goes down. Skillet follows, and it's now a 5-on-3. Most of the CTs inside of upper actually make it all of them. We'll see AKNY peeking out of Hut, and he will take down Limezors, so that's going to be a nice frag and a weapon he is able to pick up, but almost able to refrag there was Sobo. We see the bomb heading down to the lower site. 4v3 as looks like they're keen to get the bomb down here, but Smelly drops the bomb carrier. Sharp, though, will be able to salvage that, and it's all up to Drone. Will get dropped by Mystery. And the round comes to a close. So 2-0. Scoreline Dismay picks that up with minimal losses, and that's the way they want it.
Yeah, you know, this is Nuke. Obviously, everyone knows this map is heavily CT-sided, so if you can take the pistol round on T-side, you want to just chain those first 3 rounds, and because really, I mean, 12-3 is a score that is all too common on this map, so if you can guarantee 3 rounds right off the bat, you're sitting pretty good, because you're hoping to get 5. And it's kind of sad, but 5 rounds on Nuke is actually a healthy T-side on Nuke. So even though, you know, it's kind of unbalanced and I don't necessarily love the map, they're off to a great start here, Dismay, picking up the pistol, picking up that first anti-eco, but they're not out of it yet, facing up against one more anti-eco before the full buy comes in for Aftershock.
Yeah, we'll see what they have in store for us as Sobo and Mystery, they've both pushed outside, taking yard control, and there's not a lot contesting out here. Not a surprise on these eco rounds, as pistols obviously much better at that close range. So we are going to see Smelly drop down to 63 HP. That was actually some spam through Hut. So at the moment, Sharp the lowest T player, but we do see Mystery, Sobo, and Limezor is now with Knife as well. All 4 of them heading down Secret, so it will be lower play with a little more than 35 seconds left on the clock here. All the CTs have stacked that upper site, so this is definitely a good idea from the Ts, and they're going to be smoking off and getting this bomb down.
And we see Smelly sitting above the vent here. Spots a player out over towards Secret. That's Sharp. Sharp is lit. If he can get him, he might get that gun. Meanwhile, Sobo's going to pick up 2. Drone and Fugly are down to the Galil. Smelly peeks the wrong edge, gets taken down by Sharp. Sharp is traded out, though, by Skillet. And now it's down to Skillet with the Galil in hand. AKNY taking down my knife, and Sobo is going to get the frag. But we are going to see a pause come in as one of these players did drop. And I'm trying to figure out who that would have been. That would have been...
Yeah, I think Smelly's down and out here.
Yes.
We will wait and see what's going on. Just Crash is what we're seeing. So Smelly is now rejoined the counter-terrorists, and he does have money as well, so that is always good news. Means that we can jump back in here. So unpaused is the match, and this is the round where Aftershock needs to stop Dismay in their momentum. As Dismay being they've taken the first 3 rounds, things can get out of control very quickly if Aftershock doesn't kind of buckle up and get these rounds in. So Dismay, they're put on, like you were saying, it is a small round count that you can be happy with on that T side. So if they can get 4 here, that's massive, being that we're only that many rounds into this match.
Yeah, if they pick up the next 2, if they can do that, they'll be putting Aftershock on eco, and then, I mean, they could potentially seal the deal with 6 rounds. I mean, at that point, you don't really even care. 6 rounds on the T side of Nuke is very good, and they could pull that off. I know people are swaying the bets a little bit because they see Fugly filling in for Aftershock. AKNY also well-known player on ESEA. He's playing for Aftershock, but that's going to play against them here because the coordination you would typically have from a full roster just isn't going to be there, and we're going to see Dismay try and get that opening frag. Drone gets 1 before being taken down. Sobo's going to pick off 2. AKNY down. Tries to peek. And the luck coming in. The help from Mr. E. Somehow Sobo not taken down. And now it's all on Fugly. Mr. E takes out Skillet. It's a 3v1 retake for Fugly. So this is a big round here. Fugly trying to do some damage. Take some guns out of the hand of Dismay. The money is stacking up. He goes to the peak and gets dropped. And looking at the money now, Aftershock, the pretty much weak round from them, only picking up 2 frags. They're going to be on eco already. So this could be 5-0 for Dismay.
Yeah, this is a hurting situation for the Aftershock lineup. Dismay picked this map, and obviously they know that they'll be starting on that T side because of it, but they came prepared. And this is what happens. If you can catch a team off guard, just kind of, they're not warmed up yet, CT side of Nuke, it's the side where you're not allowed to have mistakes because you can't afford these rounds. So 4-0, that's massive for Dismay, and they've already done most of their work for this half. Anything else on top of it is just going to be gravy, if you will. But at the moment, we are in round number 5. 3 of the CTs picking up armor with their upgraded pistols, but we'll see if it turns out to work for them, as right now we see 2 players in upper. It's going to be Drone and AKNY. And then over near ramp room, it's going to be Fugly and Skillet. Skillet will go down, but some beautiful shooting, some beautiful pistol work from Fugly means that they are going to have 2 frags, but evening things back up. Limesores will grab a hold of that frag, and 3v3 now, as I imagine they're going to make their way to the lower bomb site, but at the moment, just keeping control of ramp.
Yeah, already a nice eco round here from Aftershock. Fugly picking up some nice frags on ramp. Really hoped he could get that 3rd one, switch to the AK as he peeked. But the big player right now for the CT side is this man behind Silo. That's Drone. He's got that P250 in hand. He's going to try and stop this bomb plan from happening. Instead, he peeks around the edge, gets Mystery, gets the 2nd. That's Limesore down, almost gets Sobo as well. Sobo down to 79 HP. A big play there from Drone, playing that sneaky beaky. And here comes the Ninja Defuse potentially, trying to bait this player out. Sobo over on stairs, peeking the door right now, trying to spot out that diffuser. The crazy spray from AKNY not connecting. And it's all coming down to this. He's pushing around towards vent. He's got 19 HP. AKNY on 5. Smelly at 31, the failed molly, and they are going to get the defuse here as barely enough time was left on the clock. Wow, very close there. The first round from Aftershock coming on an eco, thanks to some big plays by Drone and Fugly.
Yeah, massive round there for Aftershock, and they needed to put an end to this. The end to the madness. Dismay finally will get put back, but with enough money to buy here again, the nightmare is not over for Aftershock. They need to make it through this round as well before they start getting some ill-equipped T's heading their direction. So Drone, like you said, going massive there, and then I can't remember who was the last one alive there, but messing up that Molotov definitely wrote the end. As I'm sure he expected them to have a kit, so that's why he's kind of getting peeky like that. If he knew they didn't have a kit, he's got all the time in the world, doesn't have to peek at all. And here we are, though, round number 6, as just trying to trade some spam. And no one's buying it at the moment. Actually, Smelly goes down. Sobo with an opening frag, and that's going to be a crucial one, as now yard control completely for the Terrace. They do have Fugly working near Hell. He's on the stairs, but smoking things off are the T's and making it down secret. So the bomb heading down towards that lower site, but what will be waiting for them is the question.
Yeah, Sobo got that early frag on Smelly opening outside, but he is down to 22 HP. Here comes a Molly into vent to try and prevent those players from dropping down, so they're going to have to come in on the left side if they want to avoid that flame. Smoke's raining out in the site, flashes as well, and they're going to go in and try and just blind plant this bomb, and I don't think he's actually in the site to plant. Doesn't matter, though. Mr. E coming up with 2 quick ones thanks to the Tech 9. Limesor got one as well. Skillet does trade out, but now it's a 1 versus 4. Skillet versus Mr. E, Knife, Sobo, and Sharp. And I'd say he's probably just going to try and save this rifle as he can. But Mr. E is going to be waiting for him with that AWP. Misses the shot. This could be a huge failure for Mr. E now. He's going to give an op to Aftershock here. If Skillet can survive this, that's going to be a big pickup. But he should be able to get spotted out here, and he does get taken down by Sobo. So Sobo, a pretty big play there, opening up outside and preventing them from saving the op here in round number 6. And that is already 5 rounds for Dismay on the T side of Nuke, clearly showing why they picked this map.
Exactly. They've have a go-to for each round, and they've been able to work the opening pick, and when you can make that happen every round, then that's how you put them on the board as the T side. Dismay up 5-1. And Fugly now with an AWP. Looks like he is going to be working out in yard. Boosted up on CT red at the moment, but will fall back here as he's getting some comms that it could be, I guess, an interplay of sorts, but no, he will be holding outside once again. Just lots of noise from the T's inside of lobby. Sobo now boosted up on top of Twinkie, or as I asked Haas the other day what they call it, and he just said straight up Silo, and I'm like, that is not as cool as Twinkie. But
I call it Marshmallow.
there you go. I like it. I like the creative names rather than, yeah, we know it's a Silo. We know. But,
now,
no,
if you're a
just giving
classic
them hard
player,
time.
you call it Red Rock.
There you go. I am not. So I don't know where that comes from.
In 1.6, there was just a gigantic red cliff. There was no Twinkie or Silo. It was just a big piece of red rock. Hence the term.
That makes all the sense. See, I didn't even... I got no idea. So Limesor will be able to take down Drone Smelly onto Sharp, but it's looking like a T-sided affair as Fugly last one on the field. Whiff a shot into upper, and being that he's got an AWP, I imagine he's going to fall back and try and save, and luckily for him, he's in a location where he's going to have a bit of a choke point to hold, but they are definitely going to come hunting for him. But further to my 1.6 talk, yeah, I played very little 1.6, unfortunately for me, as Fugly gets one, Limesor puts him down, and Aftershock, they look like they're in shock, and I can't blame them. 6 rounds on the T side. That is an unbelievable spot for Dismay to be in at this point in the match.
Yeah, you know, Nuke is one of those maps where if you really trust your T side, it's a no-brainer. You don't see Nuke played too often in North America because teams hate it. So if you know you can get 5 or 6 rounds on the T side, that's a huge play for you. Because even if you only get 4, you know that your CT side is going to be that much better than your opponent because they're not as proficient on Nuke as you are. And you'll see a lot of teams practice Nuke to try and get it. Like, that's like the ace in the hole. They know that if they can practice this map and get it to a point, it's almost like when Cobblestone first came out or Overpass was as CT-sided as Nuke was or is. You would see teams play it a lot because they wanted to be able to use that to their advantage. And I kind of think that's what you're seeing with Dismay here, probably knowing that Aftershock, not necessarily a full roster playing with AKNY and Fugly, they think that they can best them on their CT side, and so far they've been doing so. Obviously, sitting up 6 rounds to 1 in round number 8 is definitely a very good start, and I don't really see this slowing down as now Aftershock is stuck on an eco.
Yeah, exactly. They've got the bomb heading towards that lower site once again. And one thing to note, Dismay has been mixing it up in that they've kind of hit at least both the sites a couple times here. So Fugly will inevitably get one trade, but that's going to be Sharp clearing out the site until he gets dropped by Smelly, and Knife will peek out, and he's going to get that frag onto... Oh, wow. I saw Mystery just, like, drop onto the head of Knife. He's like, why can't I go down any further? It's because your buddy's working on a frag down there. So finishing the round 7-1. That is our scoreline here. Not all the time do you see this kind of T play and this kind of T rounds at 9 rounds in. 7 for Dismay and Aftershock. At what point do you start thinking about the second map, which is going to be Cash, which is Aftershock's pick? So they might be writing this one off sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of watch this match play out, and if I'm Aftershock, I'm not necessarily pleased with my CT side play, and I kind of have already written this map off. I hate to say that, but when you're down 7 rounds to 1 on the CT side, the heavily favored CT side, you kind of know where things stand. Even if they come back and make this 8-7, this is a really hard score to come back from on this map. They're going to start things off with a nice opening frag. It gets traded out immediately, as does the second one. Drone taking down Sobo, and he's dropped by Knife. Bomb's going to be planted inside the A bomb site. Fugly in heaven, Skillet over on ramp, and AKNY in mini. He's peeking that man box. That's Sharp. Sharp almost spots him out, and they're getting into a bit of this duel here. Goes for the peek, gets dropped. Mystery's going to try and peek window, spots a player out in lobby, can't find a shot. Knife is going to take down Fugly and make it a 2 versus 2. Skillet coming out of hut quick. Tries to get one. Mystery, meanwhile, taking down AKNY. Knife, the last frag on the round on Skillet. A nice 2v2 play there from Dismay, getting both of those players quickly. But again, Aftershock falling. And even though the rounds have been close, they're just not putting the rounds on the board. You know, you need to see 10-5 is not even really a good CT side. So even if they close out 7-8, it's just really hard. You lose that pistol round, and that could just be game over because it's so easy to chain those rounds together on the CT side of this map.
Yeah, and Dismay definitely showing off their team play as all these exchanges just favoring them, inevitably making it happen. And Drone, he's going to get wallbanged down to 15 HP already. I know he's not going to be too happy about that. Oh, his crouch just saved his life. He is so close to dying here. That's why you can see he's on the edge of this upper rafter. So, Limes are almost getting that done, but Mystery will open up onto AKNY, and it does look like we're going to have a bit of upper aggression here. Limesors will be flashing in. Sharp will try and bust at a hut, but Smelly puts an end to that, and we'll get an AK for it. So, Knife drops Skillet, Smelly with another one, so they're doing all right here. And Drone from Rafters, again, the player with 15 HP, he's going to drop Limesor simply because he didn't check that corner. And now we see the bomb is going to be dropping down secret, so inevitably it is going to be a B execute. Both CTs still in upper. Ooh, Smelly, rest in pieces, my friend.
Yeah, Smelly dropping in vent and taken out by Sobo. The last one up is Drone. 15 HP, trying to come down that left vent. It's just a matter of time before he gets taken out. Oh, and the molly, perfect timing, pegs him in the face with it. Unfortunately, this is not dodgeball rules, so he stayed alive just a little bit longer, and Knife takes him down. But 9 rounds to 1. It's so hard to watch. And I don't mean any disrespect to Aftershock. It's just, I can feel their frustration and their pain. You know, being down this heavily on a CT-sided map, even if they were on the T side and they were down 9-1, I would feel their pain. It just never feels good to be at such a strong deficit. Obviously, they can't lose any more rounds. They need to win out at this point. And if they can't, then they just need to start thinking about the next map. They need to think, okay, you know, we let them get Nuke. Let's start thinking about the next map. Let's prepare for our choice. And then maybe we can take it to map number 3.
And they are going to go for an upper play in Dismay once again, and they will get a trade as Skills Skillet, rather, will be able to reload, but now in a 2v3, Mystery poking his head out of Squeaky. AWP in hand, we'll see if he can make anything work, as another frag here would be very helpful for them to take control of the upper bomb site, but Limezor's on the flank, does see Fugly in his AWP, and that's going to be a good frag from Mystery. So, again, Limezor, knowing the location, that nade should be pretty darn good, but Fugly actually will move away. And coming up the ladder, though, Limezor, he's strafing up that ladder, and that makes it really difficult to hit the shot. Limezor, though, now uses that opportunity to bust into this A site, and Fugly, he's got no option but to rotate to another angle. So now dropping down, we know that Fugly heard that. You can see him trying to decide where he wants to go, and he's actually opting to go lower as he suspects there might be a vent drop play, but now knows that it's not, hence his shot up to the ceiling. So Limezor's will be able to get the bomb down. I imagine I can hear him going up the ladder, so I'm sure Limezor's can. We'll be falling back towards a Squeaky position. Fugly dropping at his sight again. He's got an AWP in hand, but Fugly spots him out, will get the frag, and Dismay puts himself up 10-1. And I know you just touched on that Dismay might feel, or rather Aftershock might feel this bad if they're on the T side. I'd have to disagree with you there, just because it's such a CT-sided map. Going down 16-0 on any other map on any other side is going to feel better than going 10-1 on CT side Nuke. That's just so painful when everybody just knows how sided this map is. So, Aftershock, I hope you can shake this one off and come back in the second map.
I've seen some crazy T-sided comebacks on this map, but it was in, like, major tournaments with two top-tier teams, like NiP and Cloud9 at ESL. I think of that game where I think it was like 8-7 in the first half, and they came back and won it. That can happen, but this is a score that I don't think I've seen on Nuke outside of matchmaking. You don't expect to see a team put up this kind of T-side on Nuke. And it's not to say that Aftershock is just bad. It's not a popular map in North America. It really isn't. We hate Nuke in North America. The European teams definitely seem to like Nuke more than North American teams do. And I can understand it because it's such an unbalanced map. It's just not fun to play. It looks like Aftershock, though, might be in a good position to pick up their first round since round, I don't even remember when, round number 5. And they do so, but at this point, it's not really going to make them feel all that better when they're down 10-2. I mean, if they can close out 5-10 and maybe pull off some crazy T-side comeback, that'd be awesome, but it would be probably the most insane T-side comeback on this map I've ever seen. So, again, it's just like one of those things you just chalk it up to a team being unprepared.
Yeah, round 13 now, as obviously we can see a bye from the T side, but the rounds have been a little bit close, so they won't be able to buy once again here unless they can get some sort of bomb plant and such, but even so, might be a little bit low on money as they are going to be taking Outer, AKNY, playing from Garage, but won't spot. He's looking for someone to jump off a silo onto Mini, but he's not going to be fortunate enough to see a player doing so. He does call, I'm sure, that all of the footsteps going down secret, so the comms is out that it could be a lower play, hence Fugly's location in the rafters lower. I do believe they've got Skillet playing from ramp, and Drone right behind the silo will go down, and AKNY will fall. So now a 3v5. These players on the lower side have their work cut out for them, and I believe Fugly heard the bomb being planted there, but couldn't do anything about it. Skillet's going massive, but he's going to have to go bigger here. He's got one frag already. Can he make it a total of 4 to clean up this round? No kit in hand, so it's going to be very difficult for him, and Knife inevitably will get the frag, making it 11-2. Aftershock win a round, going back onto an eco here, and most likely well, not most likely, they will not be able to get another full buy-in in this half.
It's important to note, too, Dismay pulled off one of the more impressive upsets in recent memory in North American Counter-Strike, beating Torqued, a game that most people did not give them at all. And, there was obviously chatter whenever a team like that loses, but I think that Dismay earned that victory just like any other team does, and they have some great talent on their team. Sobo with many years of invite experience, Mystery is a great player as well. These guys know how to play the game. So, maybe Dismay is like the real deal. Maybe they're showing it right now. I mean, the T side on Nuke 11-2, that's insane. So my hat's off to Dismay. It's not as much as I'm saying, man, Aftershock is really bad on Nuke. Dismay is just really good on Nuke.
Yeah, I completely agree. They've kind of exercised the playbook here, and it's working out in their favor. So this round looking to come to a close shortly, but Skillet's got something to say, and his AK-47 might have something to say as well. So in a 1v4, he is in the lower bomb site here, and luckily for him, that's going to be the site of contention. Knife pops open the control room door, but he will be flanked from above. Sobo dropping him to 13 will finish the frag off with his Tech 9, and we are going to be in the last round of this half. As I was saying, no money on the CT side. They've forced up the last 2 rounds, and they pretty much had to. Dismay on 12. They must be laughing and giggling inside of their comms as they are absolutely positioned to take this map. And after such a convincing win, we'll see what happens when we enter into cash. But it definitely will be a completely different ball game, more of an even map. So we'll see how Aftershock fares there. But at the moment, again, last round of the first half. Pistols on the board across for the CTs. A lot more, though, on the T side. And Limezor is actually in a great location, flanking all the way around Outer. And Fugly, though, he's just going to put him down with ease.
Now, a note. The match between Torqued and Dismay beat Torqued on Nuke in overtime, 1917.
There you go.
So, obviously, Nuke is something they feel very confident on.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense in terms of the kind of caliber team Torqued holding their own, but still dropping off. Aftershock not able to make anything happen here. So we see Sharp lurking out once again. He's in Outer. But just playing slow. Dismay realizes this should be another round for them, but Fugly, he has got a double kill for him. AK-47 in hand. Sobo now crouch peeking into ramp room, and actually Skillet dies the moment Fugly drops down ramp. So no room for the refrag there, and now we see the upper bomb site completely in control of the T's. Fugly and Smelly, last 2 alive. We're going to see Smelly peek out from Mini. He will get 1, the lit player in Sharp, but now Fugly hears that bomb being planted. Will come up from vents, but I don't think he realizes Sobo up from the rafters will finish off the frag. 13-2, our halftime score.
Ow.
Yeah,
that's like I really can't think of a way to describe this. The last time I was this speechless watching a team play Nuke, it was, I think, in our last tournament. UB United played, I don't remember who they were playing. It was map number 3 on Nuke, and they just had a really rough CT side. And I guess it kind of shows you, like, even though the map is CT sided, if you're facing off against an organized T side, it doesn't matter, because you need to know how to counter those T-side strats. If you just kind of sit in sites and try to hold angles, it's not necessarily going to work to your favor. And that's kind of what you're seeing here now, is that Dismay knows how to play the T-side of this map, whereas Aftershock maybe just not really prepared to play the CT side. And I think a big factor is the fact that AKNY and Fugly, not necessarily rostered members for the team, they're kind of filling in. I'm not sure to what extent. Obviously, Fugly playing for, Team Liquid, but AKNY is a fill-in as well. So that's gonna have an effect, because your CT side, it needs to be fluid. It needs to be dynamic. It needs to have synergy. You can't just run around and shoot things and expect to take rounds. You have to know how to hold angles and trade and crossfire, and that doesn't work when you're playing with fill-ins.
Yep, and just an FYI, guys, we've got Affluent Designs doing a giveaway on Twitter, so follow them, as well as RGN. Retweet the Op Mana War tweet, and that will enter you in. So make sure you guys check them out. Again, that's Affluent Design on Twitter. So pistol round number 2 is live. We can see it's a slow play from Aftershock. They realize that if they drop this map's over. This pistol round means everything. And even if they take it, it's going to be an uphill climb. So at the moment, heading towards Secret here. They've got yard control, but Sharp takes off one player's head, and that's going to mean an advantage for the CTs. Heading into lower, though, we actually see Mystery will go down to AKNY, and that was up in lobby, so still providing a little bit of pressure, a little bit of threat from the lobby means that they will be able to enter this lower site, I do believe. So Sharp with another crucial frag, and he's taking no damage when he's getting these, so still at 100 HP. You see Drone and Smelly both trying to open the door at the same time. That doesn't work. Drone gets a nice one, though. Glock kill onto Knife. 3v3. Bomb has been planted, so that's definitely a positive here, and Fugly going down is not, though. And they've got one player in Toxic, the other in right outside of Silo, and the problem with this play that we just saw, Drone and Smelly, the last ones alive, is that you're basically baiting the other player. You've left Drone in a 1v1, saying that I'm gonna handle the rest of the round from Toxic, don't worry. And as we can see, wasn't able to hold. Dismay picking up the pistol round in CT side, and that is pretty much all she wrote, I feel, for this map number 1.
Yeah, at this point, Aftershock gonna be forcing up whatever they can get. They picked up an AK, threw it to Fugly, obviously very confident in his rifling ability, the young phenom playing for Liquid, but there's only so much one player can do. So yes, he's a great player, and I'd say based on just performance across the board with all these players, he's probably the most accomplished and talented player in here. But you can't expect him to just go out and change the pace of the game entirely, especially on a map like Nuke where team play is the name of the game. So 14-2 right now, Dismay over Aftershock, and Aftershock obviously trying to avoid that 15-round line and prevent Dismay from taking it to match point. And it looks like they're just going to play slow here, try and get a pick. Obviously, they want Fugly to use that AK and do what he can here. He's spamming through the glass off of Twinkie, not able to find anybody, though. That man upper was just to the left of his crosshair. So no frags yet for either squad. 50 seconds left on the clock. Fugly's going to have to open something up here if anything is going to happen for Aftershock. He goes for the frag on Sharp and does take him down, but dropped to 24 HP is Fugly. 40 seconds left on the clock. They need to be careful here as time is just ticking away.
And it looks like they're going to have to go for an upper play as they're still stuck in lobby. 30 seconds on the clock, and here we go. Flashes out a hut, but Knife posing a threat from heaven eventually goes down, and this is looking like a good round from Aftershock. It's a 1v3. Mystery definitely has an opportunity to clutch here, but is he going to do it is the question, and it looks like he's actually falling off. He's heading over towards CT spawn, just going to save the rifle, but if he could see what we can see, might not pick that same strategy just because of how much HP the Aftershock members have. But good on Aftershock. They're going to pick up this round, catching off guard Dismay. And some crucial pistol kills as they rushed into upper. We saw Knife trying to spray with that FAMAS, but again, the FAMAS just a little bit lesser in form of damage, and that leaves a player alive long enough that he goes down and everything falls apart from there. So Dismay, they will have Mystery with an M4A1S in hand. The T side will be able to buy up here, obviously, as they pick up that round, but 14-3. We'll see how long this goes on for. I hate to continue to count out Aftershock, but this is just such a deficit that they might be able to get some rounds in, and that'll help them in terms of team mentality moving into this next map. But other than that, I just don't see them coming back at this point.
Yeah, there was a bit of unrest on the T side. I heard them chatting in voice comms in-game, and they weren't exactly pleased with what's been happening. I guess I don't really blame them. AKNY is going to get 2 quick frags. Sobo and Knife are down. Drone, meanwhile, picking up Mystery, and now it's a 5v2. Sharp and Limezor here, sitting with pistols only, no armor. And Limezor is going to spot Fugly jumping onto the roof. Oh, for a second I thought that was the bomb. So there is an AK down. He's trying to shoot it off that roof. Can't really get it. Gets a nice kill on the Smelly, though. Big economic damage here for the CT side. If he can pick up one more, that would be massive. He's already gotten 2 quick frags. Gets a third. Now it's a 1v2. All of a sudden, this is a manageable situation. But he is being dropped in on right now by AKNY. AKNY, meanwhile, getting team flashed to oblivion by Skillet, who's sitting behind those barrels in the A site. Peeking around the corner is AKNY, finally ending Limezor's rage here. But 3 kills on a 5-7 no armor. Definitely a nice eco round there from Dismay. Not picking up the W, but doing all the damage they needed to do.
Yeah, they just need to keep this at a manageable point where they can basically force the T side onto an eco if they pick up a round. Now, the money is starting to grow on that T side, but it hasn't got out of control just yet. 4,200 on drone, 3K on skillet. So definitely still in a manageable state that they would have to be force buying, and wouldn't be a great force buy, but an upper play is what the doctor ordered, and they're going to get a free sight here as Sharp is in heaven, but chooses not to peek, and could be wise of him, as now he's going to be rotating off, and they're just looking for exit frags, it seems. They gifted the bomb site to Aftershock, but they definitely need to try and get some exit frags here. And one of the benefits of this kind of strategy on a map like Nuke is that you really can cover all those different avenues of exits, where other maps might be a little bit more difficult. So if they can just keep them inside of the site, which is what they're doing here, this might work out, but Fugly will head out through the T side, and that's going to open up enough nice avenue for them to exit. But Sharp will be able to get one, but dies with the bomb. So 2 players still left up for the CTs, 3 up for the Ts, and that's a manageable number on the T side, as now they're starting to gain a little bit of money. But with that AWP buy, that is going to be very expensive, and Dismay, they're going to have another rifle round opportunity to try and close out this map.
Yeah, and you can see Aftershock building up some rounds on the T side, make them. Honestly, it's a confidence thing. They're gonna feel a little bit better. You know, if you lose 16-2, it's kind of embarrassing. But especially starting on the CT side of Nuke. But if they go down maybe 16-6, 16-7, it's not as bad. They're gonna feel a little bit better about their performance. Still, they're gonna want to work on their CT side on this map, try and straighten some things out. They're going to be starting at the deficit, though, as AKNY is already down thanks to the op of Mystery. Drone sitting in radio room, knows there's a man ramp, as not Knife tossing out that smoke. Bomb just sitting in lobby right now. They're buying their time, and that's kind of the way things work on Nuke. You just got to be patient. You can't just bum rush anything. You got to take your time, maybe try and pick up a frag or two and open something up. We are going to see the op on Fugly making his way over towards ramp, trying to spot that man out. That's Knife sitting behind that box. Tosses a molly towards radio. Not going to go deep enough, but it's going to block off vision just a little bit here. But 40 seconds left on the clock. Aftershock is going to have to make a move soon.
Yeah, certainly they are. And Mystery's got actually a really nice angle that he's able to hold looking into lobby and into hut. So they will smartly smoke him off, and here comes the play, and Fugly will be able to get one, but Sobo just putting an end to things, but Smelly fires back. That will be the round, though, for Dismay. They tried to work that upper play, but finally we see Dismay shutting things down. 5 rounds on that T side. Well, actually, it was 3 on the T side for Aftershock, so not looking too bad, and if this was the first half, they would be feeling pretty good, but being that it's not, and Dismay's on match point now, Aftershock, they want to try and, like you were saying, just get a couple more rounds in here, build that confidence moving into cash. Dismay, on the other hand, they want to crush the hopes and dreams of their enemies.
Yeah, you obviously, when you're winning, you just want to like drive it home. The ground and pound technique, if you will. The mental game in Counter-Strike is huge, and a lot of players don't really quite understand that. But if you can keep a team broken mentally, you've pretty much beaten them already. So letting Aftershock get too many rounds here could be dangerous in that they could come back on cash, and all of a sudden you're staring at a 1-1, and they have all their confidence back, and it's almost like they're a brand new team. So I'd say at this point, Dismay just needs to close this out, end it, move on to the next map, and maybe they'll pick up exactly where they left off. First frag out on the round already. AKNY is dropped by Limezor. Knife is going to drop into sight as the push on ramp is present. 45 seconds left on the round, though, and they are still stuck on ramp with Bomb, trying to make a decision on which way to go.
Yeah, and we'll see where they opt to take it. Limezor is going to be here waiting for that push back to lobby, but Fugly finds his head there. Down to 12 HP, though, very lit. Sobo takes down Drone, and looks like the play is attempting to go into this lower bomb site. But now in a 1v2, Smelly has the task of keeping his team in this map number 1. He's going to bait out the plant here, We do see Sharp peeking out, and now with this crossfire, this is looking bleak as Smelly, again, bomb out, will get dropped by the pistol of Mystery, and that is the end of our map number 1. Dismay looking very impressive.